have Lee Chappy in the building with us today because we are looking ahead to the game, Arsenal versus Leicester City at the King Power Stadium, a place where we have not really done very well over the past couple of years, I have to say. So it's not been a happy hunting ground. We haven't caught any foxes at all in recent years.
It was our first away win as well, by the way, this season against you boys.
Yeah, and that's it. You beat us this season. And do you know what? It was the weird thing about that is when you beat us at home is that we were going for a really tough time. And actually, in that game, the first half, I was very impressed with Arsenal. Played very well, didn't take our chances, and then in the second half, got sucker punched by Leicester. And it was Vardy again.
Reeled you in. Brendan Rodgers' tactics got it spot on. He got it spot on. We sat back.
Vardy again. However, going into this game, the dynamic has
different.
Slightly changed a bit. You guys have been doing brilliantly, but quite a devastating defeat for you guys during the week in the Europa League. Whereas Arsenal, even though we didn't play well, a kind of uplifting win because against all odds, it looked like we were down and out and we came back. And sometimes those little momentum switches can have a little bearing on the game. It's an early kickoff, which is, again, this is madness by the Premier League again and the TV companies. Yep. Why, after we've had to go and, Arsenal, we've had to travel all the way to Greece and back. Now we've got to play at 12 o'clock in the Europa League. You guys had a really tough game in the Europa League. Again, early kickoff, but it's the same for both teams. But the dynamic shifted a little bit. What are you thinking ahead of this game?
Yeah, Thursday night football, though, it does affect teams. I've already discussed off camera with you about the amount of injuries that Leicester have had this season. You've got to have a big squad to deal with Europa League. And the thing is with Europa League, if you don't win it, it's almost pointless. That's the problem. If you have a look here, you've got a list of injuries we've had over the last... Wow. Yeah, it's ridiculous. James Justin is obviously injured now as well. He's torn his ACL, so he's going to be out till November. Ricardo Pereira missed 25 games from the same injury. Dennis Pratt out until April. Daniel Amate broke his leg and missed 17 games. Kenga Zunda's missed 4. James Maddison is currently injured again, so he's going to miss the Arsenal game, which means he'll miss his 5th, maybe 6th game. Wilfred Ndidi missed 16, and he's obviously vital to Leicester's play. Jamie Vardy's missed 8 games. Evans has missed 8 games. Timothy Castaña's missed 18. Wesley Fofana's out for another 4 to 6 weeks, and Kagalar Soyuncu has also missed 16 games. So it's ridiculous, really, when you think how the media portray Liverpool's injuries, but then don't mention the Invisibles. Leicester City.
The Invisibles. I mean, listen, that is a horrific injury list. Arsenal as well had a lot of injuries. I think more positive for Arsenal at the moment is there's quite a few players sort of on their way back. I mean, Partey came on towards the end of the game the other night, so he could start in the game. Of course, Kieran Tierney, who scored a great goal in that game, he's been vital to us. He's back. So there's a lot. I think Arsenal will have a lot of players available. It will all come down to whether will Arsenal rest a few players. That's going to be the interesting thing to see, or will they go strong in this game? I mean, there's a lot of people saying that Saka should maybe get a rest, but I know on your side of things, there's one key player that is missing. You missed him the other night. He limped off last week. James Maddison. That's a big miss for you.
Huge. Honestly, with the way we played against Prague the other night, there was no creative space in the middle. There was no go in the side. It was so slow, and I feel he's going to be a big miss against you boys. Huge miss against you boys on Sunday for sure. I've put a team lineup prediction together with the subscribers on my channel. We do a show before the games come up, and we always put the teams together through the chat. So they've made the chat, they've made the prediction. So have a look at this, see what you think. We've gone for Kasper Schmeichel in goal, obviously, and Sunchu and Evans at the back with no Wesley Fofana, who's obviously just mentioned injured. Ricardo Pereira goes right and Castagne goes left. You've got to have experience down those sides against Saka, Tierney, Aubameyang, and Bellerin that are probably going to play down those left and right channels. You've got to have some good you've got to have some good fullbacks. Ndidi and Tielemans must play Ndidi. We've won more games with Ndidi on the field than we have without him. And Yuri Tielemans is almost the second best player, I'd say, in this team this season. Shame that James Justin has suffered that ACL tear that puts him out of the fixture. Harvey Barnes, most goals in open play for Leicester City, has to play on the left. Marco Brighton, the engine of Marco Brighton, will probably need him. He puts a shift in, even though he's probably not the greatest player. And I'd say he's probably slightly underrated by a lot of casual, football fans. But he does put a shift in, and that's one thing you do need against Arsenal is a good shift. Now, they've gone for two strikers. They've gone for Vardy and Nacho, but Nacho sitting behind Vardy is almost like a number 10 role. I'm not sure if that's going to work, to be honest. I don't think he's good enough for that. I don't rate Nacho at all, personally. I think £25 million for him, Man City were laughing. But that's what we've got to play with. That's the cards we've got. That's the cards we play with.
Whoa. I forgot I was muted there. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be really interesting to see what kind of lineup Arsenal do go with in that game. Whether Arsenal do rest a few. I personally don't want to see Arsenal resting players. I want to see Arsenal going strong. And as I said, if the full complement is there to pick from, we should see Partey back, Saka. There's guys like Martinelli who could come in. Maybe we might see Aubameyang given a rest for maybe a Lacazette. I don't know, but I think this is going to be a very interesting game. And the James Maddison miss for you guys,
yeah, that's.
I feel that he's big, and that does give us. And Fofana as well. He's been playing brilliantly this season. Although Sionchu's a good guy to come in for him because he was the main guy before that.
It's tough. It's tough to pick between the two sides. I'll be honest with you. I've been enjoying this fixture, to be fair, for a fair few years now. Obviously, because we've been winning more than you boys, but it is a bloody good fixture between Arsenal and Leicester. It usually is, and there's usually lots of goals in it, Robbie. So on that basis, I'm definitely going to stick with a 2-2 though for predictions. 2-2. I don't know about you. I'm going to go for a 2-2. I don't feel we're going to win at the King Power. Our performances at King Power haven't been great. We've lost some shady games at the King Power against Fulham and Villa in the last minute. We've got battered by West Ham, absolutely slaughtered by West Ham 3-0. Leeds came down here and gave us a walloping as well, although we went to Ellen Road and whipped them. So that's a bit of a 50-50. But we have been beat at the King Power.
You know what? I fancy us tomorrow just because of the momentum. It's not because. Because I think Leicester are a fantastic team. I think you deserve to be where you are this season. You've been absolutely brilliant. I mean, I saw a record the other day that said that, apart from over the last couple of seasons, the teams that have won the most games, Manchester City, Liverpool and Leicester. It's not no fluke that Leicester are where they are. And I think your manager's done a great job. And when you look at those injuries, you haven't been moaning, like you said, like Liverpool. You've got on with it and you've been excellent. But I just got a feeling tomorrow, but maybe the momentum's a bit with Arsenal. You know what I mean? That was quite a devastating defeat for Leicester. How will they react? I think you'll still react good. But if Arsenal come and get the tempo right from the beginning, I think we could pull off a win. I'm going to err probably with the side of caution and go for a draw because it's such a good team. I'm going to go for 1-1, but I think it's all on the temp. Arsenal recently have lost games right at the start of the game. Like last week against Manchester City, switched off at the start, ended up losing the game 1-0. We did the same thing against Aston Villa. The other night against Benfica, again, in control of the game, make sloppy mistakes. If we can cut that out, we got a chance. I think this is going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. I just hope that the fact that we both played in Europa doesn't ruin it from a sort of tempo.
I was about to say that.
If the tempo's right from Arsenal, I think this is going to be a great game. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Lee, I want to catch up with you after the game if you're about.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
I know you do your watch-alongs and that. Tell everybody where they can.
Just go onto YouTube and type in Lee Chappy. You'll find me on YouTube. Pushing to 10K. I know it's a small numbers compared to you boys on AFTV.
It's good, man.
but you have to start somewhere. Been doing some watch-alongs, been getting some crazy numbers, so it's all good. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well, at @Lee_Chappy. And yeah, just jump in for the watch-along, and you can hop into AFTVs in here and give me some banter if I'm losing. But I don't feel like we're going to lose. I feel like it's either going to be a draw. It's going to go Leicester's way, but I think there'll be a draw.
It's going to be a really, really close game to call. Looking forward to it. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock kickoff, the early one. But thank you, Lee. Thank you for coming on today.